नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Shrimadbhagavadgita, the 7th Adhyaya of Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga, and today is the last Shloka that we will be reading in this 7th Adhyaya of the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga. Just to revise what we read in the previous reading of the 29th Shloka, where Sri Krishna told us that those who take refuge in me with the objective, the seekers of freedom from old age and death, jara marana mokshaya mam ashritya yatantiye te brahma tad viduḥ krutsnam adhyatmam karma cha akhilam. Those who come to me like this with the objective, with the goal of getting rid of this fear of decay, of the old age and the death, they attain to understanding the various ways of Adhyatma, the self-realization, and karma, and tad viduḥ Brahma. They get to know the ultimate Brahman and what is the significance of the self-realization and doing the karma and attaining the Brahman, getting rid of the pairs of opposites and getting rid of the fear of jara and marana. They get to know in totality akhilam. It is not they get this knowledge in tidbits, parts and pieces. No, it is the akhilam. In totality, they get to know about the Adhyatma, the Karma, and the Brahman. And like Sri Ramakrishna taught us through that example of, if we have to enjoy the pulp of a mango fruit or a fruit, first we have to get the fruit in its totality. First, we have to get the fruit with the skin and the shell and all those unwanted portions. Then we have to throw off those portions which are not required for us. Those portions which are not going to give us the ultimate bliss. Those portions we throw off, the skin and the seed and those unwanted things. And then we enjoy only the bliss. Then we enjoy the pulp of that fruit. But till such time, we have to accept the fruit in its totality. And when we start throwing off unwanted things of the pairs of opposites, unwanted things of the fear of old age and death, then only we get the ultimate realization. Then only we start enjoying the pulp of that fruit, the divine bliss for that matter. And now today we are going to read this last shloka of the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga, the 30th shloka, This is again in continuation with what Sri Krishna taught us in this 29th shloka, and this is going to complete Sri Krishna's teaching to us as far as the Dnyaan Vidnyaan. Sādhibhūtādhidaivaṁ mām sādhiyajñaṁ ca ye viduḥ prayāṇa-kāle pica mām te vidur yukta-chetasaḥ. This is the great truth Sri Krishna is revealing to us, having told us in the previous shloka of how a person can attain to that ultimate knowledge of oneness of the karma and the adhyatma and the Brahman by taking shelter at the feet of the Lord, by with the aim of freeing oneself from the fear of old age and death. Once that the ultimate goal is reached, then what happens? Adhibhutādhidaivaṁ mām sādhiyajñaṁ ca ye viduḥ. Adhibhutādhidaivaṁ. Adhibhuta is one who realize me in the Adhibhuta. What is Adhibhuta? Adhibhuta is the governing principle of all that is seen in the creation, all the material things, the living and non-living, the movable and the immovable. That is what the creation is composed of. And Sri Krishna says, those who realize me to be the governing principle of all the material things, Adhibhutani and Adhidaiva, the governing principle of all that is considered to be divine. Those who consider me to be the governing principle of all the material things, of all the divine beings, Adhidaiva and Adhiyadnyam ca ye viduḥ. Viduḥ is they who know me. Adhiyadnyam also, not just Adhibhuta and Adhidaiva, but also Adhiyadnyam, me to be the controller of all the sacrifices, or for that matter, sacrifices the action part, the karma part. So one who considers me, who knows me, who understands me to be the governing principle, the responsible authority for Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, Adhiyadnya, the beings, the divinity, and the action part, the sacrificial part. Those who know me to be the governing principle of these three. What happens to such a person? Prayāṇa-kāle pica mām te vidur yukta-chetasaḥ. At the last moment, prayāṇa-kāle, at the time of death, they, with their mind steadfast on me, with their mind, vidur yukta-chetasaḥ. Chetasa is their mental activity, their thought processes. Yukta-chetasaḥ, steadfast. With this knowledge of me being the controller of everything in this creation, controller of the material beings, material things, Adhibhuta, controller of the divinity as such, Adhidaiva, controller of all these sacrifices that people are doing. Even our life itself is a sacrifice. Life is a sacrifice of converting our life into death. We are sacrificing life in our journey towards death. We are sacrificing lives. This sacrifice even is prompted by the Lord. Sri Krishna says, one who has this full understanding, one who has attained this knowledge at the time of death, prayāṇa-kāle, with yukta-chetasaḥ, with his alertness firmly placed in me, yukta-chetasaḥ, they realize me. They realize me even at the time of death. Prayāṇa-kālepi cha ma te viduḥ. They know me at the time of death. Yukta-chetasaḥ. They are not, in any state of confusion. At the time of death, they clearly perceive me. They clearly know who I am. That is what Sri Krishna tells. Once a devotee, once a yogi attains to this stage of Vidnyaan, those who realize me in the Adhibhuta, in the Adhidaiva and in the Adhiyadnya, they of the steadfast mind realize me even in the hour of death. This is the stage. This is the way of dying for a yogi. Mind fully fixed with the Lord. At the time of death also there is this realization that this Lord, this ultimate principle, ultimate divine principle is the root cause of all the material beings, is the governing principle of all the divinity that is to be realized. This being, this ultimate being, this Lord is the ultimate of all sacrifices. This is what the Lord is comprising of. He is the Adhibhuta. He is the Adhidaiva. He is the Adhiyadnya. And with this understanding, the mind fully alert. There is no confusion at the time of death. Sri Krishna says that that devotee, that yogi, that realized being, he knows me to be that. He knows me fully then what I am. Now, this is what Sri Krishna has, this seventh chapter has got completed, the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and talking about these three aspects of Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva and Adhiyadnya. This is not an end of the discussion now. Chapter is over. The Adhyaya Jnana Vijnana Yoga is over. But in the next chapter, Sri Krishna is further going to elaborate on what is this meaning of Adhidaiva, Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva and Adhiyadnya. The way of the word, the details of Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva and Adhiyadnya, they will continue to be described, discussed and explained by Sri Krishna in the next chapter. Okay. Now the way of the world is to be scared, confused and frightened at the time of death. That is what normally happens when on the deathbed. People are worried kind of, oh, what I have done in this life. Oh my God, is my death going to be painful? Oh my God, I am on the deathbed. What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to my property? And all those kind of things. That is how an ordinary human being, a baddha jiva, he dies. The mumukshu, maybe who is the seeker of liberation, may not think of the ultimate reality, but he will still be at in a state of confusion as to what lies next. Which birth I will get? Probably he or she might be thinking on these lines. But the mind is not at rest. But Sri Krishna says, as far as the yogi is concerned, those realized souls, for them, it is a peaceful passing from this stage to the next. Maybe a few of them, they may get into the stage of liberation, having found the oneness with the Lord. But others who have to again come back, those souls who have reached the level of 9, just lesser than getting complete liberation, they might be thinking that, oh, Lord will give me a better birth next time, that I can attain to Him. I can be one with Him. It is not just knowing about the Lord, but then attaining the Vidnyana. So Sri Krishna says, this is what happens with the yogis at the time of death also. They think about me and with fully alert mind, they keep on focusing their mind, their thoughts on me and me alone. But the yogi accepts death calmly and as a matter of course. For the yogi, it is a natural happening. Yes, I have taken this body, I am going to die, and therefore at the time of death, the mind is, the condition is yukta-chetasaḥ, fully alert mind. The person knowing that is progressing towards the next phase, giving up this body and proceeding to the next phase. The mind is fully alert, yukta-chetasaḥ. The true study of nature develops into devotion to the Lord. A yogi's knowledge and devotion reveal themselves best in the hour of death. That is the true example of the yogi. This is what even the great people, they have said, that a person's stature can be determined from the way a person dies. And then somebody has said that people come in this world crying. We take birth in this world crying, but the real great is the person who leaves the world with smile on the face. I am going to the Lord. I am going to be one with my mother. That is the way to die. With full knowledge, with full consciousness, with full alertness, not like in, oh, what is going to happen to me now? Not that state. So, the yogi's knowledge and devotion reveal themselves best in the hour of death. His God realization is at its zenith when he drops the body in death. So that is what Sri Krishna has told about how a person behaves at the time of death once he gets the realization of what is the ultimate truth. There is no confusion in the mind at the time of death. There is no fear, there is no anxiety, there is no scared feeling at the time of death. But yukta-chetasaḥ. And then the person knows me fully well. So that is the end of this 7th Adhyaya, the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga. Iti Shrimadbhagavadgitasupanishatsu Brahmavidyayaam Yoga Shastre SriKrishnarjunasamvade Dnyaan Vidyaan Yogo Naam Saptamodhyayah. In the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Brahman, the Supreme, the science of Yoga, and the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, this is the 7th discourse, the 7th chapter, designated as the Yoga of knowledge and realization, the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.